Hey you, long time no see. I finally made it back around to YouTubing. Oh, it's been a while, and that's completely my fault. My most sincere apologies. About half of this video was taped about 6 months ago before my life collectively just got too overwhelming and I had to step back in order to get everything back under control. But my life seems good and settled now, and I have enough time to do YouTube videos. And so the first thing I decided to do was that I was going to finish up this video from forever ago. So I have an emotionally clean slate, I guess. So this video is about Mondo Llama's 30-piece watercolor set. I uh actually don't finish with these watercolors. They are chalk base and they are so terrible. Later on, I can show you where they actually like chipped off the paper. I found them frustrating to use, and so I actually flush them down the sink. I rinse all the watercolors out, and I saved the box so that I can use it as a palette for when I want to have ready mixed colors for a larger project or a series of paintings that I would like to use the same colors with products that I know and love. These guys are chalk base, and I'm just gonna say I don't know if I found a chalk base watercolor that I like. These definitely were not the ones I like. I didn't like them so much, I decided that I wasn't gonna gift them because I thought it might frustrate somebody so much that it might affect their art journey poorly. But this is fun. Okay, so this is me showing my sketches. My studio is super hot in the summer, and so I did these guys sitting in a place where my fans and air conditioners work better, and I thought it would be fun to show all the different sketches that it took to get the one gesture that I ended up using in the final project. And I am also showing off my super lazy version of transferring images to the page. It shows up darker in real life. I think my lights are just too bright and like blast off the faint transfer in graphite that they make. But that is a good thing for me that they're not super dark because it makes racing easier. And it's a good hack to know if you don't happen to have a light table and you have come up with problems with those lovely rolls of graphite transfer paper, carbon transfer paper. I've used them in the past. I have a distinct remember years ago of the wax that was on those paper affecting the media that I was trying to use in conjunction with it. And so if I am going to transfer, I just pull on the back of the sketches and transfer graphite that way. Oh, here's me using my binder clips to help my paper from warping. And I'm going to get along starting painting here. And the colors are nice, and I didn't realize that I was struggling until I got about here. And my painting stayed here for a good 6 months. It sat on my desk, and it sat and it sat and it sat and it sat. And after a certain point in time, I realized that I could not move on when I came back to it unless I got this painting figured out. And so this winter break, I cleaned off all the stuff that gathered up on my desk. It actually isn't that bad for having not been used for a good solid 6 months. And the funny thing is, that painting is exactly where I left it. Okay, so you can see the Mondo Llama swatches. They got chipped while they were sitting on my desk. I know I laid stuff down on top of it, but that's a fairly common practice for me in my life. And I've only ever had one other watercolor chip off once it was on the page, and it was also a chalk-based watercolor. And this is my revenge shot of me starting to rinse out those colors. And so I thought about it, and I was honestly worried about coming back with a watercolor and having the undercoat reactivate strangely or chip off with a, I don't know what it was gonna do. So I thought I'd do something completely different and I'd try using colored pencils. And it worked okay. The watercolor or not the yeah, the watercolor actually was sort of like chiseled off the paper when I used these colored pencils. They're a harder pencil than Prismacolor. Somewhere I was reading about wax-based color pencils, and when I searched on Amazon, this set came up for about 30 bucks, and so I thought I'd give it a go. And so they're harder, and they actually like dig through the watercolor that was underneath them. They're not a bad product. You definitely have to apply a little bit more pressure to get them to be burnished than you do with the wax colored pencils, but beyond that, I'm not sad about them, and I'm actually really happy that I went and finished up this painting. This painting got to be such like an emotional like Mount Everest in my mind that like the thought of trying something new and different, like I can play with colored pencils, uh, actually helped me to get this done. And they've got a lot of bright chipper colors in this set, and I think that they paired well with the watercolors that I had laid down. And I think in the end, I saved this piece. I got a video out. I now know to tell you, don't buy Mondo Llama's 30-piece watercolor set. It's that bad. Go buy something cheaper. You'll have more fun with it. And I finally got to do this little piece that was supposed to do my last hurrah video before school started. And so that's it. Thanks for coming back and spending time with me. And I'll be back sooner next time, I promise. All right. Bye.